Hey friend, welcome back to the Real Talk Circle. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you pulled up a seat. I'm Dr. Imbet Thompson, and if you've been listening from episode 1, you've heard my heart, and you've heard some of my stories. And so for the past few weeks, we've talked about why real conversations matter again. We've talked about the conversations we avoid. And we've talked about healing. But today, I thought it was time we had a different kind of conversation. I'd like to pull my chair a little closer. And not just for another topic. No. Because before we continue this journey together, on today, I'd love for you to meet the person sitting behind the microphone. Not because my story is extraordinary, but because maybe somewhere in my story, you'll recognize pieces of your own. People often ask me, why did you start this podcast? The answer is actually very simple. Because I know what it feels like to need a safe place to breathe, to process, to ask honest questions, to slow down without pretending everything is okay. And some of the deepest growth in my own life didn't happen when everything was working. It happened when life slowed me down. And those moments shaped my heart for these conversations. That's why this space exists. Not to impress people, not to perform, but to remind us that we're never alone. You know, if I'm honest, there was a season where I thought life was supposed to happen much faster than it did. I wanted to finish college. I wanted the next opportunity, the next breakthrough, the next accomplishment, the next building, the next level. I believed if I just worked harder, pushed more, moved faster, I'd finally arrive. Oh Lord, silly me. But every time I tried to force what I thought was next, I seemed to hit another wall. And at the time, I couldn't understand why. But now I can. God wasn't saying no. He was saying not yet. Looking back, I realized God wasn't delaying my life. He wasn't questioning me. He was developing me. He was preparing me, strengthening my character, teaching me things success alone never could. Then the waiting, it stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like preparation. And that changed everything. Because you see, we have to first realize that even though we may have plans that didn't happen when we expected to, we have to realize that we can't mistake God's preparation for absence. He was preparing me. We may question ourselves, but God will never question us. You know, after that, one day, something clicked. Once I realized, once I understand, the waiting stopped. It stopped feeling like punishment. Yes. It started feeling like preparation. And I know I said this before. And so it changed everything. And then one day, something clicked. I realized God wasn't delaying my story. He was weaving another thread into it. While I was waiting, which, let me make this clear, I'm still in my waiting season. Yes, I'm still waiting a little bit. But while I'm waiting, I should say, right? I enrolled in a herbalism program because I wanted to learn how to care for my family better. Honestly, I thought I was simply learning about herbs and plants and plant foods and stuff like that, how to prepare them, infusions, concoctions, all of that good stuff. But God was doing something much deeper. He began connecting parts of my life that I had always seen as separate. My work as a professional natural hair care specialist, my years serving women as a noted celebrity braider, my training as a professional makeup artist, my desire to help women feel confident, my passion for health and wellness, my love for teaching, my calling into ministry, my role as a wife, my role as a mother. None of it was random. None of it was wasted. It wasn't a collection of unrelated experiences. God was building one complete story. And so who I am now has been shaped more by God's process than by my accomplishments. Yes. And looking back now, I can see that every certification, every certification, every client, every lesson learned behind the salon chair, every woman I've served, every Bible study I've taught, every prayer circle, every disappointment, and every victory, every season, God has used every single one of them. You know, over the years, He allowed me to serve women as a noted celebrity braider, a professional makeup artist, a natural hair educator, and now I'm certified herbalist. And at first, they felt like separate chapters. Yes. Yeah, man. But today, I can clearly see they all belong together. God wasn't preparing me for separate assignments. He was preparing me to serve people more completely. The more I walked with Him, the more I realized God cares about every part of our lives. He does. He cares about every part of our lives. He cares about our spirit. He cares about our soul. He cares about our body. He cares about our family. He cares about our purpose. He cares about our health. He cares about our work. He cares about our rest. And definitely, He cares about our character. Nothing is outside of His care. Nothing is wasted. Everything belongs to Him. You know, one of the greatest gifts this slower season gave me was time. Yeah. Time to really be present with my children. Time to pray with them. And my favorite, one of my favorite, time to cook with them. Oh boy, we can cook. Now let me not go in too deep. Time to teach them lessons they'll carry into adulthood. Time to simply enjoy being their mom. Those moments reminded me that success isn't only measured by what you build. Sometimes it's measured by who you're becoming while you're building. Yeah. And my business didn't disappear. It became healthier. I became healthier. I became more intentional. I stopped saying yes to everything or everyone. I stopped chasing pressure. I started working with purpose. My schedule became more structured. Today, I learned that balance isn't weakness. Balance is actually wisdom. Oh Lord. Yeah, I gotta say that. Balance is wisdom. And for the first time in a long time, I felt fulfilled. And the dream no longer owns me. God does. And strangely enough, that's where I found freedom. If someone had asked me years ago, who are you? Oh Lord. I'd probably have answered him with what I did, you know, or I should say, I'd probably would have answered with what I did. Today, I'd answer differently. I'm simply a woman learning to walk with Jesus one day at a time. Everything else regarding ministry, business, motherhood, teaching, health, beauty, and leadership flows from that relationship. Because if he's not at the center, none of the rest matters. None of it matters. He has to be at the center. He has to be in it. As we continue this journey together, you'll hear stories, life lessons, conversations about faith, purpose, healing, identity, health, relationships, motherhood, maybe even a few tears, business, grace, and my favorite, the finished work of Christ. Yeah. Just some real conversations for everyday life. Not because I have all the answers, but because I'm walking this journey too. And if something God has taught me can encourage someone else, then every single season has been worth it. If you've been listening since episode 1, thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. And if today is your first time joining us, welcome. My prayer is that every time you pull up a seat in this circle, you leave encouraged, not because you've heard my story, but because you've been reminded that God is still writing yours. So here's my question for you today. Has there been a season in your life that didn't make sense until you looked back? Maybe God wasn't delaying you. Maybe He was weaving your story together too. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify, or send me a message. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you again for trusting me with your time. Thank you for letting me speak into your journey. But more importantly, thank you for allowing God to meet us here. Because this podcast has never really been about me. It's always been about making room for Him. One scripture I want to leave with you tonight that's carried me through so many seasons is from Romans 8:28. And many of you know this scripture, this verse, this text. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. All things. That verse reminds me that even the chapters I didn't understand were never outside of God's hands. He has been working all things together for good all the time, even when I've been delayed. He's working all things together for good. All things. Thank you for pulling up a seat with me today. If today's conversation encouraged you, share it with someone who may need this reminder today. Again, leave a comment on Spotify or YouTube, because your story may become someone else's encouragement. Until next time, keep trusting God. Keep growing. Keep showing up. And remember, pull up a seat. There's always room in the circle.